All right, let's confirm there is sound. Okay, we've got sound, so we can start. Then, okay, so my name is Hightech, of course, and I'm the creator of Hightech Meme Coin here in the lower part, at the bottom of the screen. In the middle, you can see the mint address to this meme coin. It's a Solana meme coin, of course, because nothing else makes sense today. To let's say issue issue on any other network. I'm checking here. Okay, is everything is fine? I think it should be. Allow me to quickly check. So here I don't know why, but this one is saying that some of platforms are still connecting. You know what? Let me restart it. Maybe now it will be. Yeah. Okay. Apparently everything is fine. All right. So yeah, definitely we can start now. Anyway, guys, if you have any questions, don't forget to ask me in the live chat, and I will see it right here on the right side of this right section here. I'll be visiting it from time to time. Other than that, if you watch me on X, then I have it open on my phone, so I will see it there for sure. So all of platforms, let's say, all of live chats are served this way. And as you see, I made a small change to the UI on these live streams because now I'm on the top in the middle. My head, right? My talking head is on the top. In the middle, everything is centered, and that's mainly because YouTube has launched a new feature that allows to live stream in two formats at once. One format, of course, in desktop mode, so that's how you see it on all platforms outside of YouTube, and one in vertical mode for shorts. And so this let's say this layout is prepared for that. So also whenever I live stream in shorts format, people can have the same, more or less the same experience, right? So yeah, this is a big game changer, I must admit, because shorts, generally vertical format, is something that all of platforms promote. They give much more reach whenever you produce content in that format. So that should be sometime soon a very good news for my meme coin, right? Because this is the only project I promote here. Hence, this is in an indirect way the stock of my social media that you can invest in. So this is a very innovative approach if we consider it under that angle. And yeah, although so far on my English YouTube channel, that option has not been enabled yet. Maybe, I don't know, maybe because I still have under 100 subscribers. But on my Polish YouTube channel, where I have over 900, it's already enabled, and I've been already live streaming there like that. So I've been promised by the YouTube support team they will enable it soon also on my English YouTube channel. So yeah, I have strong conviction in it making some noise. All right, so here as you see, this is Dash. So one of the OG coins, right? That one of its main features, very, let's say, advertised, was dark scent, meaning obfuscation of your transactions, of your balance. So um, more security when it comes to your let's say personal financial information. That's very important. That is something blockchains lack in a big way nowadays. Pretty much from the beginning, of course, Bitcoin has no balance obfuscation. Uh, there are some attempts to, introduce protocols that are helping in that regard, but it's pretty much all public, out there in the wild, available for anybody to check. So, imagine the situation: you give someone a tip of I don't know, couple of sats, and then they can check how much Bitcoin you have, right? And let's say you have, I don't know, 5 Bitcoins or 10 Bitcoins. You never know what people really you are talking to, what people really you're meeting on the street, or I don't know, somewhere in the restaurant, in the shopping mall, and so on. And at some point, if they can check how much you carry with yourself, you carry literally in your pocket or in your memory, if you memorized your seed phrases, your seed words, uh, they might try to do something bad to you. So that is why back in the day, Dash, of course, had a little bit of an audience, a little bit of interest of the crypto folks. It was a direct competitor to Monero. Um, Monero is definitely much better than Dash in that area because Dash is opt-in, um, meaning am I naming it right, or is it opt-out? I mean, it's not mandatory. Okay, let's leave it because now I got confused. In Dash, it's not mandatory to use obfuscation in Monero. You cannot really make public transactions at all. It's all by default obfuscated and encrypted. So that is why Dash is much less useful if you want to hide your privacy. But so some people liked the idea that generally the blockchain is public, but if you want to hide, then you can hide, right? And as you see right now, I mean the Dash development team is financed by the Dash network, by the Dash blockchain. There is a kind of a model, a fee model for that by default. So you're kind of taxed in that network to pay to the dev team. And it's a proposal, right? Is it bad? Is it good? Is it bad? Time will tell. It's a convention of doing things, an approach of doing things. Time will tell if what are uh, what are the main issues with it. How is it better? How is it worse than other projects, than other blockchains? Nonetheless, as you see, it's been performing quite well recently. If I were to trade it, if I had traded it, I would have been right now in plus 100% profit. Unfortunately, I did not trade that coin. Why? Because I don't really like its price dynamic. It's very regular at times. I don't know what's the reason behind it. Maybe because um, decent chunk of fees goes to the developer team, and they, I don't know, maybe they do not distribute their holdings, let's say in an efficient manner, in a manner that is least harmful for the market of this coin, and that is why it gives me that impression. It gives me that experience with trading on this coin. So yeah, but as you see, recent days, oh, if I had traded it, I would have been in a nice plus right now. So yeah, this is by a total accident. I have it on the screen. I was not planning to talk about the dash at all. And I'm not advertising dash. I just explained some basic things I remember about it. I don't know what has changed, to be honest, because I'm talking about the old days, like really old days, 2017, 2018, when I first time heard about it. Because yeah, uh, I've been in this space since 2015. You can count more or less. So to some people could call me OG, right? Although me myself, I do not consider OG because I know too many people that got into this space way earlier than I did. But as you see, the altcoin market is counter-reacting to what happened yesterday, because yesterday was quite red, right? Allow me to quickly confirm that the connection is fine. It is fine. I wonder how are you going to like this new format where my head is centered in at the top of the screen. Later, I will review this content myself just to check my bias if I like it or not. But last time I was checking what impressions this type of layout gives me overall. It was very positive. Okay, so let's discuss what has happened, how Bitcoin is doing. Do I still have a trade on Bitcoin? Probably yes. If I have to guess, I say yes. Yes, I'm still in a trade. Plus 6.4% in profit, and it's holding on quite nicely. And if I were to bet on what is going to be this market behavior, this chart behavior in the days ahead, I rather say I will stay. I mean, my system will maintain this position and we will go higher. Of course, that does not mean I will be correct on this one. I might be wrong. We'll see. But so far, that's the impression it gives me. But the daily, of course, yesterday was red. If you look at the daily candle, it was red, and today it's still red. Okay, it's still slightly red, but the Bitcoin dominance started to finally today to show a little bit small signs of weakness, very small, to be honest. Let's see how is it going to close. Yesterday was Thursday, and it was red overall. On most of altcoins, on Bitcoin it was red, and usually when Thursday is red, the rest of the week is not the best, so to speak. For those that account on market going higher, for those that short the market, of course, that's a good time. um, Remember that I discourage you from using leverage, from using futures that includes shorting the market. Because why? Because you put yourself on the worse side of fence overall. Because this is a very highly volatile market, and even if you use very low leverage, a spike of 100% happens every once in a while, and even if you use x1 let's say multiplier on futures market, you still get liquidated, right? Well, when you trade spot market, your liquidation is completely out of the picture, right? You can reduce your initial amount to some very small values, but you will never get liquidated. So there is always a chance you recover whatever is left. So that's a huge difference on its own. Again, guys, if you have any questions, ask me in the live chat, and I'll try to answer to the best of my abilities. And yeah, last time we had a really good chance of ending this, local uptrend with this red candle, but as you see later, we recovered, we flipped green, and since then we are still marching towards that 59.6. Right now, it's definitely in the cards that we will attack it, we will we will climb it, we will mount it. Definitely in the cards because we still have higher highs, higher lows, higher highs when we look at candle bodies. So inherently, judging by the market structure, we are in an uptrend, fairly undisturbed uptrend right now on Bitcoin dominance. But because of the overall picture, so greater scope, my very strong inclination is towards this thing here, this local context, completely breaking and rolling over and just falling into a very deep hole shortly, within days, at most next week, at latest next week, sometime next week. I'll be very surprised if next week will be bearish for altcoins. I will be very strongly surprised. I give it time until the end of until the end of this week because of Thursday, right? Thursday did what it did. So here is the opportunity for Bitcoin dominance to go slightly higher before the fun is over. Okay, let's take a look at the chart that represents the altcoin market. And as you see here, yesterday was also harsh, but today is back to green. Hopefully it stays that way. And as you see this line, parabolic trend line I have marked here, we are still above it. I do not expect us on this chart to go below it. I think we will hold it. And as you see, this must mean, if I'm right, this must mean we are just about to see a very aggressive moves up. And that's what I'm guessing is about to happen. But remember, I do not trade manually. Even if I'm wrong, my systems will manage my portfolio appropriate way. So even if this thing completely collapses, I will not be in the crypto market anymore, right? I mean, I will not be in altcoins anymore. I will not be in Bitcoin anymore. Everything will get converted to USDT actually, or USDC, stablecoins, generally speaking. Because I trade on both of them. I trade against USDT and USDC on some of trading pairs. All right. Let's take a look at some other metrics that we can inspect. Let's take a look at liquidity heat map, liquidation heat map. So 24-hour context, definitely more liquidity above the price in a very, very close vicinity. A little bit of liquidity below, also in a very close vicinity. So Yeah, apparently today we can see both, right? We can see the price going slightly lower than slightly higher, or slightly higher than slightly lower. And neither of those scenarios will surprise me. Let's say at, let's see at the weekly context. Okay, so here the situation looks much more clear. Everything I think is much easier to read. There is definitely way less liquidity beneath the price currently than above the price. Uh, but of course, the largest concentration of liquidity is higher, right? Is in greater distance. So this more or less would mandate that first we go lower, we grab what is beneath the price, and then we go for new all-time highs. That's possible. If of course that liquidity beneath is organic, if that's real liquidity and not spoofing made by market makers, because remember, spoofing costs nothing. It's the easiest way, the cheapest way of manipulating the market, because it costs zero. So that one is always to consider, and it's something that makes guessing where price is about to go so much harder, because there is no techniques that will allow you to identify it on centralized exchanges, even decentralized exchanges. There are obfuscation techniques that will allow market makers to create impressions what the general public wants to do, what is the bias of let's say the crypto crowd. And people tend to have that belief that the more people position themselves in a certain way, the more likely it is for the market to support them. And it's the other way around, actually. It's literally the other way around. And remember, guys, if you have any questions, ask me in the live chat, and I'll give you my response as soon as I notice that there is a question here in the live chat. And by the way, don't forget to allocate something into my meme coin. You will find the link to its liquidity pool in the description section of the live stream if you watch it on YouTube, or if you watch it on Rumble. Other than that, you should find it in my bio on X. The main address in text form, right? Then you can copy paste to whatever Solana DEX, and that's the way you will find it for 100%. And yeah, given how small this market is, very small, 61 holders so far, microscopic, very little circulating supply, and I will keep it that way. I don't have any interest in flooding this market with my coin. Absolutely not. I want to keep it scarce. If I make any sales, those sales will be very small, nearly insignificant, and because I have the majority of supply, so naturally, I stay in power. But I think power, I could dump this market into zero, but it makes literally no economical sense to me, because I would trash my own stock, I would trash my own credibility, and I want to build credibility with it, right? So if you see any sales coming from my side, those will be very modest, and made in a way that does not harm this market. So I may take away 1% of growth once in a while, and that's it. Definitely not dumps like we've seen here in the past of some of the folks that got in very early on, and they decided the profit they got was satisfying enough that they don't want to wait any longer, and they just got rid of their holdings. That's perfectly fine. uh, for once in a while, things like that happen, especially in the early days, because these are the earliest days, right? Not even early days, the earliest days, because this project started at the end of March. So we are dealing with literally first few months of its existence. So yeah, it's just a simple explanation of how things are going to work here. But yeah, the room for growth is infinite, almost infinite from here. With this size of this market, there's so much money that people will make here. I have zero doubt about it. Especially given that all of the social media barriers are cracking slowly. I think that new feature that YouTube is introducing now is going to help to grow, um, to see much more growth on my English live streams, because that's the thing I'm struggling the most with right now, that my English live streams do not get enough of reach. On my Polish channels, everything looks really promising, amazingly promising. But my global channels, which I run in English, as you see probably by now, are quite small. But yeah, I believe that live streaming in two formats, desktop format, horizontal format, and vertical on YouTube. Vertical mode is very viewed on YouTube, so I think that will increase discoverability amazingly. So yeah, be here before everyone else gets in. That's the best advice I can give. This is the easiest thread on the whole internet right now, in my humble opinion. Um, I'm practically 100% sure it's going to play out in a big way for everyone who gets involved, especially in this stage of development of this market. So yeah, this one looks very promising. The liquidity above all-time high. To me, that always looks organic. That always looks very believable, because I know it from private conversations with people, private chats. What general public tends to think. They usually think, shorting all-time high is a good idea. That's a very popular belief. So this what we see here. It perfectly writes into that mindset, and yeah, that's why judging by my own experience, it's very difficult for me to believe this is not organic, right? Anything beneath is up for a debate. Anything beneath the price, but when we talk about a local high or all-time high, even more all-time high, I have a very hard time, doubting the liquidity there is artificial. Okay, let's take a look at CoinMarketCap and the data that we can get from here. We can squeeze out from here. So far as you see, we are still in that long series of positive inflows to spot ETFs. And Bitcoin and Ethereum, yesterday it was much less. Oh, Ethereum, it looks like it was outflow. Okay, Ethereum was outflow. So Bitcoin was inflow, Ethereum was outflow. Okay. But here it looks like all of it was inflow. Nonetheless, as you see, numbers are not that bad. Overall, we are still in positive. And although performance is diminishing here, this does not represent the big business. This does not represent Fidelity, BlackRock, Vanguard themselves. This represents what their customers do. So this is a very important thing to remember about it, right? Whenever you see on X people are writing, oh, BlackRock has bought this much, or Vanek has bought this much, or Fidelity has bought this much. Uh, they do not give you a precise information because they are talking about yes, their balance sheet, but those sheets are for their customers, right? They run services for their customers, so that paints a completely different color of the picture of the painting. Overall, I see it as positive that we maintain such a long series of positive inflows. We still have not got even a single day of overall outflows. There's definitely a lot of room for Bitcoin reserve narrative left uh, globally in the United States and globally. So I have a very hard time Bitcoin giving up on this cycle anytime soon. It's very unlikely. Fear and Greed Index is at 54, which is very, very cold. And this one's from yesterday, so today probably it will hit up slightly because the market is much more positive, as we can see. And Alcon Season Index is also below 50. Today probably it will jump up too, because again, these reads here are actually regarding the day of yesterday. So open interest perpetuals 1 trillion 15, futures 4.71. I never pay attention to this, so I don't know how high it is. There are people that do pay attention to it. I think much more sense makes to judge it by the level of liquidations. Why? Because this one can be spoofed. I mean, huge part of it can be just pure spoofing again, and liquidations is let's say blood shed already shed. So that's a totally different type of data. Let's take a look at liquidations. Yeah, $127 million on Bitcoin, 76 or much less on Ethereum. Yesterday it was quite higher. So yeah, something is happening, right? Above 100 million on Bitcoin, I consider it as activity. Below that, we are doing nothing really. People are busy with other stuff rather than looking at the Bitcoin market, at the crypto market. That's how I understand it then. But above 100 million, it means there is activity in the market, right? There is some people here and there, trying to squeeze squeeze a couple of bucks out of it. Of course, futures trading um, is prone for failure. Is this destined for failure? Unfortunately, I never remember how do you pronounce it. Do you say destined or destined? I think it's destined. But English is my second language, so oftentimes I forget how to pronounce certain words. That's what effed up about English. You must remember how to. You cannot just read the word. You must remember how to read it. That's effed up. Totally effed up. But that's the way it is. Myself, I will not. I will not change the world. Maybe one day, though. In a way, in a positive way. Of course, I don't want to change change in a negative way. One day for sure, because I will break. I mean, break. I will bring this. I will break this stagnation here on this meme coin and bring it to elevate it to significant levels with how much liquidity this market has. it will be noticeable around the globe. So in that way, I'm sure I will change the world, right? And I will change many lives, many people. Many of those that throw even something small at it right now, their lives are going to get enhanced, enhanced in a very very big way. That's what I believe. Because I'm a grinder, right? I'm a hard worker. I'm a very consequent person, and once I put my mind into something, once I decide I go with something, then I do it till the end, until I get the desired result, and that's why to me it's a done deal here. Yeah. Share, like, and subscribe, guys. And don't forget, of course, to allocate something before I mean, in this market before it absolutely explodes. It can be a dollar or two. Not you don't need to risk big here. Absolutely not. I even discourage you from risking big here. Upside potential. The win lose ratio is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I think is the stupidest in a positive sense, of course, trade on the internet right now. Okay, let's take a look what we've got so far on CryptoX today. Let's see what rumors, what news are circulating on the web. So, Cointelegraph CZ, there is no investment link between Binance Labs and Hyperliquid. Its founder Jeff joined a 2018 program under YZ Labs, which later failed. Okay, so somebody was accusing, apparently some part of the cryptosphere was accusing CZ or actually Binance of connections with Hyperliquid, but here we can see CZ denies that. CZ is quite an honest folk, so I don't really think, even if he gets some things incorrect, I don't think that's with bad intent. I don't believe that, to be honest. Generally speaking, I have quite a good let's say recognition, quite a good idea about people. I rarely, very rarely, I could mention maybe twice in my life somebody tricked me. Out of so many, let's say, interaction I had with people, it happened on couple of occasions. So somebody was able to let's say lie to me, right? Lie to me in a manner that later resulted in me losing in a way. Usually, I spotted very early on, who am I dealing with? Because I have a very picky ear, right? And if you lie, you must remember very well what you said. That's a rule, I think, that is good to remember about or good to know about. Okay, what else we've got here? Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, but this is not the Fear and Greed Index I follow. I follow the one on CoinMarketCap. I think that one is the best right now from all of those available. Oh, and one of, at least up until recently, one of good indicators when it comes to sentiment, risk on, risk off sentiment in the market is of course gold. Me, I usually look at tokenized gold, tokenized by Paxos, because this is a 24/7 market, so we are not dependent on whenever TradFi is trading or not. So we get the data on Saturday, Sunday too, and outside of standard hours of trading sessions, TradFi trading sessions. So that's why I see this one as much more useful. And yeah, so here we have second day in red so far, but it's very slightly red, very small, right? So I would, I do not read it as a beginning of greater correction. That's unlikely. Probably, I mean, that's why I started, the sentence, proverbial sentence, with it used to be a good indicator, to judge the sentiment in global finance, what the majority thinks, really thinks, about, what is coming in few months. But now, because of US dollar devaluation and how fast, what pace it has, I don't think it fulfills the same function anymore. I think right now it's just an index that shows us how fast fiat devaluates, and that's it. Not much else. So yeah, um, I expect Bitcoin and gold to go hand in hand, foot in foot. I don't think they will get much of inverse correlations, at least not anytime soon. Same with altcoins, with crypto. Okay, let's keep watching. Let's keep looking. Let's keep reading. Let's keep checking what is up. Bybit Exchange becomes the first licensed crypto exchange in the UAE. Okay, I don't know what implications it brings. UAE is not a very big market for crypto, but it is a market nonetheless. So the good thing is that they're outside of EU. They're not in EU. I always discourage, especially Europeans, to be on EU exchanges. I think you should avoid them, because unfortunately, European Parliament is composed mainly of communists. So those guys will try to rip you off. They will try to tax you into poverty. So just stay away from it. There should be no taxation at all on crypto trading, and on stocks trading too. Why? Because they will tax you if you lose, but they will not give you the money. Sorry, they will tax you if you win, but they will not give you money if you lose. So that's why they have no right. They have no voice if that's the environment they create. Ethereum Fear and Greed Index. Okay, that's it. That's a new one. Let me remind you what's my opinion about Ethereum, because these channels are still very small, so there is constant inflow of new people here. I believe this is the last cycle for Ethereum. Later, it will take very apparent zero trajectory. Of course, it will not go to zero overnight or over a year, but it will start that fading out process. It will be fading away slowly, but firmly. It will have rallies on the way down, of course. So um, trading it, trading it will allow to make money on it, but holding it, investing in it, that will be a trap. Bitcoin archive. President Trump wants to put his face on a new $250 bill. At this rate, we'll need $1,000 bill soon. 250, 250 bill. That's a very weird kind of a bill. That's probably a joke of some kind. $1,000 bill would make sense. And You know, let Trump be there. Why not? TMC News. Bit Digital acquires 31,057 Ethereum holdings, hit $675 million. Nice. Ethereum definitely will see higher highs, all-time highs, despite of what I just said about it. Don't get confused. I'm not saying Ethereum will start collapsing from now on. Absolutely not. The opposite. I think it will see much greater evaluations. But whenever it's over the hill, then run for your life. BlackRock sold $972 million worth of Bitcoin today. That's not BlackRock. BlackRock. That's BlackRock's customers. Know the difference. Guys, share, like, and subscribe. If you haven't done so, don't forget to subscribe to this channel because I will be live streaming every day, especially these days. What is it? Here it is. Especially these days. So if you like the format, if you like what I'm talking about here, if you hear something new from me, something that you did not know about before, and there will be quite a lot of things like that, then just don't lose this channel, right? Subscribe to it, and this way we can start our bromance. Venezuela's pro-Bitcoin opposition leader Maria Corina Machado just won the Nobel Peace Prize. That's cool. BTC is a lifeline, now a vital means of resistance. Okay, that's cool. That's very cool. Crypto good. CPA data reportedly still dropping next week. No delay despite shutdown. Okay. Game changers. PayPal Japan just bought 40% share in Binance Japan to make crypto transactions easier. That's a big one. That's a biggie. Massive. Nvidia's market value just reached $4.7 trillion. Yeah. I think Nvidia right now is the biggest company in the world. Am I mistaken? Watcher Guru, Justine. Bank of England calls for stronger stablecoin regulation. Um, let them regulate themselves into zero, into oblivion, into I don't know, a black hole of nothingness. Fortunately, fortunately, the crypto market is kind of a market that is not really possible to control, even from stablecoin side. It will always be like a stainer. It will have holes, holes like a Swiss cheese. It will be very easy to bypass to find a workaround. Whatever, like one hoop in crypto at like 99% of the time, one hoop does the job to skip whatever regulations they want to apply. So fortunately, they do not have deep understanding of how it works, and probably they will not have because we are talking about much older generations right now being in power, and they don't have that mind flexibility. They were not reason in a reality like today, where everything is changing at a very fast rate, and you must adapt very quickly. You must have that a mind flexibility from the day you were born, and that's good news. Of course, that's very good news. Breaking: 96% chance that Fed cuts rates this month. Giga bullish. Yeah, highly likely they'll cut rates, and highly likely it's going to be 25 bps. Real estate tycoon Grant Cardone says every Bitcoin you sell could cost you $1 million. I'm not sure if we see $1 million for Bitcoin. Maybe me, I'm not betting on it, but let me tell you, if Bitcoin goes to $1 million, I'm in Bitcoin. Why? Because I do not trade manually. I have my systems from it, and I will not be skipping it. My systems will not allow me to skip it. And I show my trades here. I show my trades on Bitcoin on this channel. I discuss them, all of them. So that's why it's worth to subscribe, because the efficiency of my algorithm on Bitcoin market is mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. It's not perfect. It does not have 100% hit rate, but it beats hold by an order of magnitude, even with a hit rate way below 50%. Trump will look to print $4.5 trillion during this presidential term. The crypto market is about to go parabolic, yeah, especially if that 4.5 trillion dollars will fuel stablecoin market, and TradFi will switch over to stablecoin liquidity. That will give us a bull market world has never seen. Bitcoin Jesus strikes $48 million deal with DOJ. Roger Ver will pay $48 million to settle a tax evasion case under a deferred prosecution deal. So that's what Jeremy J15 once in a while mentions about press get millions, make millions, and later ask for forgiveness. And as you see, $48 million for Roger Ver, let me tell you, that's small change. That's literally small change to him. So apparently, Jeremy knows what he's saying. Domly says Bitcoin can easily reach $200,000, but by the end of this year, yeah, it is. It is easily. I'm not so sure about it, but it is possible. So, okay, guys, allow me to wrap it up and share, like, and subscribe. Fortunately, today's live stream was not interrupted by a poor internet connection like yesterday. Today, my ISP is just doing his job. So share, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to get at least a small allocation, $1 worth, $2 worth, something even symbolic, just so later you're not sorry when all of this will get kicked off to the moon, because it will get kicked off. That much I can guarantee you. I will be showing you, listen, I will be showing you these live streams with these lines I'm saying here in the future. And I will, of course, comment on it. I told you this was the easiest trade you could find on the internet, and I was telling you about it for months, for long months, and you did not you did not put even $1 into it. So there is zero hope. If you have no ability to recognize opportunities this easy, there is zero hope for you in in this space. I'll be telling you that. So yeah, yeah. Save it. Save yourselves from from that fate, and you know, even if I'm wrong, $1, $1 or $2 or $3 will not kill you. And if I'm wrong, that could be literally a life-changing event. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for your time, and I see you soon. Cheers.